One of the most common problems of aging is presbyopia. Can tiny eye drops really beat it? Over 1.8 billion people are facing the same problem. We didn't have many options in the past. Reading glasses are safe, but they're a hassle. Put on a mask and they fog up. Laser surgery risky, and not everyone can accept it. But now, there's an eye drop widely hailed as a presbyopia savior. Dr. Zhang Dingjing, geriatrician. Can these drops really make vision clear? How solid is the clinical data? Can they really replace glasses in surgery? Before we begin, give that little finger a tap and subscribe to Team Health. Let's use the key of science to unlock a long and healthy life. The great Tang writer Han Yu once said, "Gray hair, dim eyes, sheep show in swaying grass." No, not really. I made that part up. What he said was, "I am not yet 40, yet my sight is dim and my hair is gray." We don't have his ophthalmic records, so we can't know exactly why Han Yu couldn't see clearly. But even still today, once people reach around 40, it's still hard to escape dimming vision. That's what we all know as presbyopia. At its core, presbyopia is caused by the lens losing its ability to focus. Let's quickly review how the eye is built. The eye is like a precision camera. The cornea is the eye's outermost lens, and it first refracts most of the incoming light. The pupil is like an aperture. It determines exactly how much light enters the eye. And the most crucial part, the lens, is like a self-focusing one in a camera. It's not a rigid, fixed piece of glass. It's even smarter than AI, a lens that can change shape on its own. The nearby ciliary muscles and the zonules linking ciliary muscles and lens contract and relax, making it thicker or thinner to complete final focusing. So the image lands perfectly, just right on the retina. And then the optic nerve sends the signal to the brain to form vision. So you may still remember. When we were little, our teachers and parents often reminded us, "Hey, look into the distance at recess." Why? Because if you only look at things up close, your ciliary muscles stay tense for too long. The lens gets thicker, the eyeball is likely to lengthen, and myopia gets worse. But by middle age, when we look at phones or computers or do other close-up work, the elasticity of the ciliary muscles and zonules is like a girlfriend who changed her mind, gone forever. Even if the ciliary muscles and zonules can still try harder, the lens itself has already fully hardened. It can't be pulled and can't thicken. So when the eye slowly loses the ability to adjust focus, that's what we call presbyopia. What defines presbyopia? Let's use some numbers. At around 20 years old, your eye's focusing range is about 10 to 15 diopters. What does that mean? It means you can switch with ease from far away to up close, like a sleek, brand new autofocus camera. But as you age, your lens is like a rubber band left too long. It gets stiffer. By around 40, its focusing power drops to about 3 diopters. By 50, it's under 1 diopter. So from that great youthful tenfold flexibility, by around age 50, less than a tenth remains. Clinically, we measure presbyopia in diopters. By around age 40, it's about 1 diopter. At 50, it's 2 diopters. At 60, it's 3 diopters. So how exactly do reading glasses help fix a lens that can't focus? They don't truly make the lens young ever again. They simply step in for it. Think of reading glasses as a convex lens. They move the focal point that would have safely originally landed there, far behind the retina, forward to the perfect exact right spot. So when you get reading glasses, you'll see 1 diopter or 2 diopters on the lenses. It just replaces your own focusing power that has been lost. Hey, I'm just starting to age. I want to look good at parties. I don't want to keep taking off my glasses to check my phone. That's so old school. Isn't there anything simpler and less risky? Haha. Let me introduce today's star, presbyopia eye drops. The real secret of these drops lies in 2 ingredients. The first key ingredient is referred to as pilocarpine. Pilocarpine. This ingredient is nothing new. It was first discovered back in the 19th century. It mainly comes from a small shrub called jaborandi. Back then, doctors found that after patients used it, their pupils constricted and their eye pressure dropped. That made it useful for treating another commonly seen common age-related eye disease called glaucoma. Even today, many glaucoma eye drops still contain this ingredient. What exactly does pilocarpine do to the eye? Simply put, it stimulates the parasympathetic nerves, which are the parts that truly relax us, causing the iris sphincter to contract and mimic what happens when the pupil constricts for near vision. Once the pupil gets smaller, if you're into photography, it's just like gently narrowing a camera's aperture. The depth of field increases, so blurry small print looks clearer. That's what's called the pinhole effect. But this pupil constriction comes at a cost. After using these drops, some people feel eye tightness and headaches. They may even find that things look dimmer at night. It's like a camera. It takes clear pictures in daylight, but it gets dark at night. That's exactly why we need to add a second ingredient, which is referred to as diclofenac. Now, that name probably sounds quite familiar to many of you. It's a common pain reliever and anti-inflammatory drug. It's a common non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug. When taken orally, we often use it to treat muscle aches and joint pain. In ophthalmology, we also use diclofenac eye drops to control inflammation after cataract or laser surgery. Its mechanism is to inhibit cyclooxygenase and effectively reduce prostaglandin production. In plain English, it can switch off inflammatory signals in the eye so that the slight discomfort caused by pupil constriction can be greatly eased. So, that's the secret behind these eye drops. It didn't invent anything new. It just recombines two drugs, pilocarpine for much clearer vision and diclofenac that makes you feel more comfortable. Just put them together. So here's the question. Do these eye drops really work, or does it just sound impressive? Let's look at the data first. In 2021, FDA approved presbyopia eye drop, Vuity. Studies at the time showed about 3/10 of patients, within 3 hours of using the drops, could read more than 3 extra lines of small print. And their distance vision didn't decline. In other words, it could help you through an afternoon of meetings and reading documents. It starts working in as little as 15 minutes and lasts for 6 hours. That means it can get you through half a day. And if you're lucky, it may last a full workday. Because the effect was so strong, it became the first presbyopia eye drop to be officially included as a standard treatment option. What about Europe? At the 43rd Congress of the ESCRS in 2025, some research pushed the results even further. They made 766 subjects use pupil-constricting and anti-inflammatory drops. 99% of the test subjects had greatly improved vision. Some of them even still had obvious lasting effect 2 years later. For many people, it was like getting back the eyes they had 20 years ago. But this eye drop is only suitable for mild vision impairment. Take Vuity, which we mentioned earlier, for example. Its research subjects were aged between 40 and 55, with mild to moderate presbyopia. And myopia can only from -1 diopter to 4 diopters, with astigmatism ranging plus or minus 2 diopters. If you have high myopia, astigmatism, presbyopia, or severe cataracts, it's not suitable. And every drug comes at a cost. This eye drop is no exception. Although pilocarpine has been used for glaucoma for decades, its side effects still haven't been managed very well. Whether it's headaches or brow pain, these muscle spasm-related aches and pressure have always been there. Vuity's clinical data also found that about 14% of patients got headaches. Some people may also get eye irritation or temporary blurring. And more concerning is noticeably reduced night vision. Because the pupils constrict, less light enters the eye at night. So some people may find Vuity feels fine in the daytime, but at night, street lights and signs look dimmer than usual. Vuity users are a bit like Cinderella. When time runs out, everything turns back to what it was. So if you want to hit the club or scroll on your phone freely, or safely drive home at night after using these drops, you'd better drop the idea. And not everyone is perfectly suited for these eye drops. For example, if you already have severe DES or high astigmatism, the benefit may be quite limited. And with long-term use of miotic drops, if you live past 70, you'll need cataract surgery. Given Taiwan's current life expectancy of nearly 80, you'll likely face that choice. Your pupils may become overly small or even stick tightly to the lens, making lens replacement surgery harder. So while these eye drops are convenient, they're not a completely risk-free cure-all, nor can they effectively address the underlying pathology of presbyopia. That's why these presbyopia drops, though hailed as a presbyopia savior, are generally regarded as auxiliary symptom relief means rather than a curative treatment in clinical practice. In Taiwan, after 40, more than half of the people have presbyopia symptoms. Those who strain their eyes for work, like engineers, may develop it as early as their 30s. Presbyopia is not just our parents' problem. For our generation, it's a challenge catching up to us fast. As for presbyopia, for now, there's still no perfect solution. Whether you choose eye drops, reading glasses, or laser surgery, each has pros and cons. The key is still to take better care of your eyes. If your vision starts getting blurry, get a proper examination. Have a serious talk with your doctor to find the treatment that suits you best. Here's the question. If your doctor told you all 3 options could work for you, which would you want most to choose to do with your presbyopia? Is it A, I prefer glasses, simplest and safest? Is it B, I'd pick surgery and hope it's one and done? Or C, I really want to try these new drops? Convenience comes first. Type your choice in the comments below and tell us your reasons. If you want to learn about the latest medical updates, keep watching our show. Please subscribe to our channel. Join Team Health. Let's stay healthy together.